Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival. So today what I want to talk to you about is the third 5 things that new preppers should buy. Now, please realize this is a part of a series, and there'll probably be at least 6 or 7 of these videos. This is the third one, and in each of the videos I lay out like 5 or 6 things that I think people should get. At the end of this series, if you have all of these items, it's my contention that you're going to be pretty well prepared for most situations, okay? Now, one thing that you need to do is you need to take this with a grain of salt and you need to apply it, in the context of your own situation. So if I'm up here talking about, say, I don't know, space heaters or something like that, and you live in Florida, well, maybe that needs to be changed to a different item, okay? So apply it to your situation. If you can't buy a gun in your state or in your country or wherever you are, then replace it with another non-lethal, kind of item that you could use for self-defense, but just understand the concepts of what we're looking for here. Now, in laying out this series, what I've tried to do is I've tried to stick to about, having like 80% of the items, 4 out of 5 items, be items that you can use in your current situation, in your current house for regular disasters. And then I've had some of the items added to the list that are for, a bug out kind of scenario where you have to leave your home because the violence has gotten too bad and you have to go somewhere else. So, we're putting most of our eggs in the basket that we want to stay home, but we're also understanding that we may have to leave if things got bad. Anyway, with that, we'll go ahead and get started. And the first item on the list is fire extinguishers. Okay, large fire extinguishers are really important to have because house fires happen frequently. All right, house fires happen frequently, and anytime that there's a power outage situation or anything like that, you are probably going to begin relying on alternate methods of lighting, like candles and stuff like that, alternate methods of heating, like a space heater or something along those lines. And when you do that, you increase the opportunity for there to be a fire in your home. And so that is why I recommend that you have at least one of these large fire extinguishers on each level of your home. And what I do is I put one right next to my bed, and then I have other ones down throughout the house in the common areas where I might see a fire, like in the kitchen and then down in the basement or whatever, where I'm messing around with all my man cave stuff. So, I recommend that you definitely have fire extinguishers. That is important. If you don't want to get the big ones, then get smaller ones and put them throughout the house, whatever the case may be. But the bottom line is fire suppression is an important item. I've had several other videos talk about this as well, where I also recommend like a fire blanket and the escape ladders and stuff like that, as well as smoke escape hoods and stuff. So you could go check those videos out if you like. Anyway, with that, let's go ahead and take a look at number 2. Okay, so the second item on the list is you should put together a power outage kit. Okay, and by a power outage kit, what I'm talking about is taking a big tub, kind of like this, and, filling it with items that you could use to light your home during a power outage situation. Power outages are common, okay, and they happen regularly on a regular basis. And if you have some of these items with you, then you are going to be able to get through that situation, a lot easier, and it's not going to be as big of a deal for you. Now, I've done a separate video on this whole kit here, but I'll just go through a few items, that are in it. You guys can check out the other video if you want to see all of them. Having LED style lanterns like this, collapsible Coleman lantern is a good idea. Got another one here like this. I also have some old landscape lights that, you can put the little rechargeable AA's in there. You can charge them up during the day, and then they just kind of provide area lighting at night. They work really well. I've also got some kerosene you know, and kerosene hurricane type lanterns. Also did another video where I have a bunch of candles, like these devotional type candles here. You can pick these up at a dollar store, by the way. These other jar candles, these are all good things that you can have. Have extra batteries. One other important thing, some headlamps. Having some headlamps in there is good. A few of those. Make sure you pull the batteries out of those. Also, if you get one of these hoses that, like if you have a lantern or a heater or something that you want to run from propane or whatever, just make sure that it's safe to do so, you know, as far as ventilation and everything goes. But you can get these hoses, I think they're about 15 bucks or so at Walmart. I don't know if I can get this end off. And this hose will allow you to go from the big, you know, barbecue grill style propane tanks into the smaller ones. And that is kind of cool because, you know, it just gives you a longer term ability to run those devices with the bigger propane tank. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, I've got a bunch of other stuff in there. I think you get the point. The idea, though, is to be able to have that box labeled Power Outage Kit sitting right there. So the power goes out, you can go grab it, set your stuff up, and you're good to go. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the third thing. Okay, so for the third item, I recommend that you get an AR-15. You know, if you like a different style of rifle, that's fine, but some sort of high-capacity battle rifle. And the idea behind this is, for me anyway, is that you want to have a basic rifle that you could use to defend your home in a, you know, more of an extended type of situation, okay? Not necessarily just the bump in the night, but let's say it's a gang or, you know, multiple people or something like that, you know, and they're trying to run you out of your home, kill your kids, take your stuff, whatever the case may be. If you've got something like this, you're going to be better, more, you know, more well off for engaging targets at a distance and, you know, people that are trying to harm you in a, you know, post-collapse type situation. Chances are you're not going to need this rifle right now while things are normal, you know. But you do need to have this rifle right now so that you can practice with it, so you can become proficient and you can know how to use it, so that post-collapse you will be able to use this rifle efficiently and effectively. I don't recommend putting a whole lot of stuff on it. I just basically recommend having a good light on the front, an optic, a red dot optic on the top. If you want to have iron sights only, that's fine. It's purely fine. They will work just fine. If you want to save money and not have the optic, but iron sights obviously are essential. And then some kind of sling. Okay, I'm not sure what this sling is. It's what the manufacturer was. I forget right off the top of my head. It's just a single point sling. The sights on this rear are the Magpul flip up. This is the Sig Sauer Romeo 5. I've done a kind of an overview video of this one, an initial look at it. Pretty good optic. I like it so far. You can get that Optics Planet, and if you use the code Reality5 at checkout, then they'll give you 5% off your entire order. And then this light is just a Phoenix TK22. Good light, you know, it could be any light, you know, whatever. But those are the basic things that you need on your rifle. Now, in addition to the rifle, you also need to have at least 10 magazines, okay? I think 10 magazines is a minimum amount you should have. That way, if there's any breakages or anything like that, you're covered. Plus, that gives you a good 300 rounds loaded up and ready to go. As far as my preference, I usually get what I can get a hold of cheapest that is a good quality magazine. Sometimes that's PMags. These are Troy Industries, their PMag version. And then I also have a lot of just aluminum GI standard magazines as well, which actually are kind of my favorite. I think they're probably the toughest, to be honest. But it doesn't matter what you get. Just make sure that you have at least 10 magazines for it. The other thing is that you should also get a case of ammunition. Okay, this is a case of ZQI 5.56, and the reason that I recommend that you get a case is that way you will have ammunition for the worst case scenario. You know, there's no chance, I mean, there's virtually no chance that you would ever expend 1,000 rounds in a firefight. That's crazy talk, okay? But it could be 200 or 300 or something like that. That leaves you enough to replenish the stock if you need it. It also leaves you some on hand for doing some training and stuff like that ahead of time. Whatever the case may be, I think 1,000 is a good starting point. If you can get higher than that, the further you get into prepping, then that would be preferable as well. My goal is to have, you know, at least 5,000 per rifle. That's down the line though. If you're just starting, don't worry about that. Just worry about getting 1,000. So anyway, that is the third item on the list. Let's take a look at the fourth. Okay, so the fourth item is to have some kind of portable stove. Alright, now if you've got a barbecue grill at your home, this could suffice. It's not necessarily portable, but it would at least be an alternate method for cooking if the power and gas and utilities and stuff like that went off at your home. But beyond maybe a little step better than a portable barbecue grill, or a barbecue grill, is something that is a little bit more portable in case you had to leave your home. Now this is just a Camp Chef one. This is a new one. I haven't got to use it very much. I donated I had an old Coleman one that I donated to a homeless guy. So I got this one, and I'll be trying it out more here in the future. It's pretty cool. One of my old favorites for backpacking is the old MSR Whisper Light. This thing is awesome. It just keeps going. It's super simple, and it runs forever. And it runs off of the Coleman white gas. And they do make some of these that I think work off of multiple fuels too. This right here is one that I have in my bug out bag, and this is a jet boil. This thing is really good for cooking up water, you know, heating up water really fast if you're going to use like dehydrated meals and stuff like that. So it really just depends on what your plan is, but that fourth item should be some sort of method for cooking food if you can't do it, you know, with your regular stove. You know, if the power's out and you have an electric range or whatever the case may be. But that is a look at the fourth. So let's go ahead and take a look at the fifth and last item on the list. Okay, so let's see. I think we are on number 5. And the fifth item on the list for this part of the series is a good synthetic sleeping bag. My recommendation is to get a mummy style synthetic sleeping bag. This is one that came in the battle box a couple months back, and nice little bag. This is more of a kind of a 3-season bag. Just a real quick note on picking a sleeping bag. If you're going to choose a sleeping bag, make sure that whatever you think the coldest temperature is that you could potentially see in your area on the average, you want to make sure that your bag is rated at least 30 degrees warmer than that temperature. So if you expect to see 0 degrees during the coldest part of the year, you want to get a negative 30 degree bag. If it only gets down to about freezing in your area, then you could get a 0 degree bag. It's been my experience that there's generally about a 30 degree variance on the rating of a sleeping bag to what it actually will keep you warm on. So having a good sleeping bag to be able to help you create a microclimate is a very important item in your disaster preparedness, especially if you have to leave the home and you have to bug out. You know, we talked in the other two about having a tent and having a backpack and stuff like that. A sleeping bag is another very important item in that. Also, though, if the electricity goes out and you're in your home, what's going to be the easiest way to produce heat in an environment like that is to have all of your family members sleep in one room and to have them use individual sleeping bags, you know, in close proximity to one another. and that's going to be the most efficient. That way you only have to heat one small room, and you're all together, so your body heat is accumulating, and it's also being used the most efficiently as possible in a mummy style bag, because while blankets do work, they are inefficient and they will lose more heat. So even in a bug-in situation, a sleeping bag can be a great thing to have in your preps. Anyway, guys, as always, I definitely appreciate your input. I'd love to hear what you would add to this series of 5 things. What did I miss, or what did I forget? Now, don't forget that I do have at least 3 more of these coming out. So the items that you choose could potentially be on that list. Who knows? You'll just have to wait and see. If you like videos like this that talk about wilderness survival, disaster preparedness, or outdoor gear reviews, please click the subscribe button. I try to put out at least a few videos a week. And if you're already subscribed, thank you very much. It means a lot to me, and I definitely appreciate it. If you click the little bell button right there, that will help tell YouTube to send you an email each time I upload a new video. I really appreciate that. And as always, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And don't forget to live the 6 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.